Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another figure review. Next up is the Hasbro Marvel Legends series, the Retro Iron Man Wave 1, or just Wave. I don't know if they really do numbers anymore. But here we have Count Nefaria. Nefaria? It's got to be Nefaria, right? Because he's an Italian guy. Count Nefaria. So this is one of those classic villains that we are getting in the Marvel Legends lines. It's a first-time figure. In any way, it's a first-time Marvel Legends. I don't think they've released this guy in any kind of action figure, like in the 5-inch line, in the ToyBiz, or anything like that. So this is a brand new one. So it's cool that we're kind of getting these, these different characters. So a couple of villains in this wave. We had Whiplash, classic Whiplash there, and now we have this classic Count Nefaria. The retro card back Iron Man, very cool. I love the design and the artwork of everything. It's throwback to the ToyBiz action figure line for the animated series of Iron Man in the 90s. So it's really cool, awesome presentation that we have here. I got my set from toysnowman.com, so link in the video description below. It is my referral code. So if you use that link and create your account for first-time buyers, brand new accounts, you get a 5% off coupon code in your Frost Rewards. Toy Snowman has all your action figure needs: Marvel Legends, your imports, your Mifex, SH Figure Arts, DC Multiverse, all of the good stuff, Hiya Toys, all of that you can find on toysnowman.com. So link in the video description below. Count Nefaria is in stock through Toy Snowman, so just a heads up on that. Here we have the packaging and everything like that. You can see he just comes with an extra set of hands there. Looking at the back of the package, the gimmick, of course, is the swappable hands. The bio for Count Nefaria reads, "A wealthy nobleman and leader of international crime family, Count Nefaria launches attacks aimed to take down Iron Man and the Avengers." He first appeared in an Avengers comic, so he is definitely an Avengers villain. So we have him there. Let's go ahead and rip open the card and take a closer look at the figure. Okay, so here's the Count Nefaria figure out of the package. This video is probably going to be a little short and sweet because there's not a whole lot. I'm not familiar with the character. I looked him up. He's got history with the Avengers and things like that, and the Magia. So he's your typical supervillain, I guess you could say. He gets an extra set of hands, so we get a pair of fists that come on the figure, and then we have the open hands there. The figure uses the Vulcan body. We do get some new stuff, like I don't think we've seen these gloves before. He's obviously got a new belt specific to him. He's got this band here. I think it's been used before, but I'm not placing it. Like, I'd have to go back and see, but he's got that band that just kind of wraps around him, and then he's got this cape. The cape surprisingly holds on well, but I'm not going to trust it very much, and it's likely going to come off very easily because it just pegs into the back of the figure, and that's kind of it. So it's not super secure on there or anything like that. It drapes over the right shoulder, but over the left, it's not at all. You can't really move it around, and it's just, again, the way it pegs in there, I feel like it's just going to fall off very easily. But let's go ahead and get in for a closer look at Count Nefaria. He really reminds me of like an evil Doctor Strange, or like a menacing Doctor Strange look, because he's got the gray on the sides of the hair, on his head and everything. But the head sculpt is really well done. The sculpt of it and the paintwork, pretty awesome. So let's check that out. Yeah, so there is Count Nefaria. And one thing about it, it looks like he's constantly looking up. And I don't know if that's just the way the print came out looking, but to me it looks like he's just constantly wanting to look up. But look at the sculpt of like the wrinkles in his face and everything, like where his eyebrows are, just really good. And then the mouth, it's not, and because I was checking this out, like if I pop the head off, I thought there was going to be like a secondary piece, because like sometimes when they have open mouths, there's a second piece, because that's how they could do the different colors and things like that, and the sculpt of it. It gets like a deep crevice in there for his mouth, but it's not a separate piece, so the teeth came out really good. Again, they get the face print in there, and the teeth, I got kind of, they did the photo real print with the teeth as well. But just really awesome head sculpt there. Just came out looking really, really good. I'm a big fan of it. Looking at the cape, again, it just pegs into the back of the figure. It looks like it is an all yellow plastic rubber cape, and then the red itself is what is painted on there. There's no other shading or anything like that. It's got a nice flow to it, and again, drapes over his right shoulder. But as you can see, it just pegs into the back of the figure. And then one thing about it, though, is because the peg hole is actually pretty high, and so the curve of his back as it goes to the neck and his shoulder blades, you don't port that peg in there super far. So that's why I feel like it's just bound to fall off. But it actually seems to be holding pretty well. But just a heads up on that. That's just kind of one thing that I noticed. For ease of the video, I am going to do the rest of it probably without the cape on there. just because I feel like it's going to kind of get in the way and things like that. But anyway, we get like this rope, tassel thing there. Just kind of wraps around them. We got this floating belt piece. It's got an N on there for Nefaria. These gloves, again, I believe are going to be new. That's why they have that forearm cut on the Vulcan body, so they could do like these gloved parts and things like that. The plastic is red. The white itself is painted on there, and it doesn't, like, there's going to be some paint rub right where you peg in the hands, as you can see. You can see some of the red bleed through there, so another coat of white paint would have been nice, but it's really over the wrinkles where the paint starts to get a little bit wonky, so just a heads up on that. Otherwise, it's not terrible or anything like that. And then just looking at the rest of the figure, he's got the hip piece is just a white piece, black for the legs, and they painted on this little bit of red there. Just below the knee, and then at the top of the boot, that red is painted and there's just white going on there. Nothing really on the back, and that is Count Nefaria. So now let's go ahead and move to his articulation. Okay, so Count Nefaria again is on the Vulcan body, so he can look up all the way, which is really good. He can look down all the way, full rotation in there, and you do get some pivot going on in that head, so that is pretty good. The shoulder you can get to go straight on out like so. You get a full rotation in there. There is the butterfly joint, so you can only get the Vulcan butterflies to go back so far. I feel like it should allow for a little bit of movement, but there's just not enough kind of going back. And then crossbody with the forward butterfly, so that is pretty good. You got the upper bicep swivel in there, double jointed pinless elbow, gives you that much bend at the elbow, wrist swivel, and they do hinge, standard horizontal hinge on the open hands as well as the fists. We got the ab crunch on there, so the ab crunch forward is really good. Ab crunch back is really good as well. We got the waist swivel in there. Again, that belt is just a floating piece, no big deal. Legs go out that far apart. I feel like that's actually more than we've seen on Vulcan. I don't know if they've made adjustments or if I'm just losing my mind. I don't have a Vulcan body figure here in front of me to be able to do that. He can't kick forward that far. The leg goes back slightly. Got an upper thigh cut in there. Double jointed pinless knee. Oop. They're a little stiff. Nice bend there at the knee. There is a calf swivel right at the top of that boot cut. Foot hinges down. We get a little bit of hinge up, ankle pivot, peg holes at the bottom of the feet. One thing to keep in mind, though, is if you have the cape on, the shoulder, you're obviously not going to be able to get that right shoulder to go all the way. Well, I guess you could. It still kind of pushes it a little bit. Oh, yeah, but you still could, I guess. So that's actually pretty good. It doesn't hinder it a huge amount, but, a little bit. The cape does look good because it's like flowing out. But again, I feel like it's not pegged in far enough and it's going to want to fall. And it's a pretty heavy cape, but it holds up pretty well. I think I'm just being paranoid about it. Okay, so for some side-by-side comparisons, here we have the Iron Man Model 9 from this wave, and then we're going to throw in the Iron Man Model 20 there. Size-wise, they all look pretty good. We're going to throw in She-Hulk in there, too, and She-Hulk is super tall. I can't fit her all the way in frame, but look how tall she is compared to Count Nefaria. So really tall. And then we have our other villain from the wave. We've got Whiplash. So we got some classic villains, so that is pretty cool. So solid wave, in my opinion. We get some classic versions of some characters that we have not had in the Marvel Legends line. So we get Whiplash, we get Count Nefaria, we get an awesome updated Model 9 Iron Man that I think looks really, really good. I'm very happy with it. And then the Model 20, which is a pretty awesome figure because it's got butterfly joints, and we love it when our Iron Man figures can move around nicely. So there we have the wave so far. Only one more figure in the wave to review, and that is the Iron Man Model 1, the gold variant from that Avengers issue #1 cover. So it's really cool. We knew that we had an idea, right? When they released this figure, we just knew they were going to do a gold variant, right? Sure enough, it's here. That will be the next video. So you guys let me know down in the comments below. What do you think of this Iron Man Retro Wave? What do you think of the Count Nefaria specifically? Vulcan body is a very solid body. So we got that on there. So it makes for a good action figure. Now, as far as the character, he's probably been due for an action figure. It's just I don't know how familiar some people are going to be with him. So you guys let me know down in the comments below. Have you been waiting? Are you extremely happy that he's there? Or do you think, hey, it's a cool villain that add to our villains, display, collection, shelf, whatever, however you do it. But definitely a good one. When they first announced him at WonderCon, like they were saying Whiplash, but then they showed like the outline, the diagram from the back of the package of Count Nefaria. At first, I thought maybe it was going to be like Graviton or something, and I think that would be cool, and it'd probably be something very similar. But, you know, we'll see. But you guys let me know what you think of the Count Nefaria figure down in the comments below. If you guys like this video, please do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. And as always, thank you for watching.